We're back with another fun-filled episode of Lucas Oil on the Edge. This week we're getting muddy in Arkansas, and after we've scraped off the mess, we'll head to Indianapolis for a supremely intense Legends race. You don't want to miss any of the action.
Got it tacked up, and if you get too close, you're getting cracked up. Stone cold when I roll, coming out of the hole. Get back, cause I'm out of control. I'm on the edge.
It's time to go racing once again with Lucas Oil on the Edge. It's the AMRA Mud Racing presented by Skyjacker Suspension. Highway 425 Mud Track is where we're at in Arkansas. Ken Stout and Brian Olson ready to call all the action for you, and yep, that's how they prep that track. And Brian, it looks like it's ready to go.
Yeah, that's how they have fun right there, the kids. Oh, I didn't think that little girl was going to go in there. A lot of different configurations in this category. And unlike what we usually see in straight line competition, this one has a U-shaped horseshoe pattern course with double elimination with 4 feet of water right at the start.
Well, when you step up to the modified class, a lot of things change. We're talking power, suspension, tires. One thing that doesn't change is the man behind the wheel. I'm standing with Mike Ward right now, and I got to tell you, this guy in front of the points here. And Mike, that kind of power, you got to be able to control it, man. What's the best way to do that today?
You just got to stay on top of it as far as the driving and the swing around, and not too drastic moves out there, and just make sure you don't let the truck get around ahead of you. It's 2 guys out there on the track racing, but we try to put the truck where we know we need to be to get good traction and see if we can pull it around.
And there's unique aspects to every form of racing. As you can see on the front of that power plant as we watch Doug and Jeremy pull to the starting line, they have to seal off as best they can all the electronics because that sippy hole, if you will, is deep and it will drown out an engine.
You can hear him go right against the converter by way of a 2-step nodule in there. And if you get out of the sippy hole right there, which is a little bit over 4 feet deep, if you come out of that baby ahead, you got a pretty good shot of winning your respective round here.
And we also heard him mention you've got to be smooth. You also need vision. You can see the windshield wipers working well there. There is a guardrail here now, so that will keep him on the course. Doug does a great job of adjusting that speed and then sails out across the stripe. Now, this is real racing. This is not against the clock. You want to beat the guy beside you.
Yeah, it's side-by-side drag race. Now, look at the driver who also has a passenger that is the co-driver, and you can see by way of hand signals that the co-driver is telling the driver what to do and which way to go here.
And no, Brian, I will not be your co-driver.
Yeah, come on.
Ricky Smith and Jamie Spiller's coming up next, the Mossy Oak Mudslinger.
And the Hillybilly Deluxe.
Oh, sounded like something broke in the driveline. You heard that thing hit the chip.
Oh, it came back. You may have just knocked yourself out of gear.
Look at him rotate the back of that thing around, a little over-rotation. And slinging some mud. The guy in the back is eating some roost, but take a look at the speed, man.
Oh,
don't think for a second these guys don't have some big-time steam under the hood.
Yeah, there is some power under that Mossy Oak machine.
I love the horns on the roof, by the way.
I do, too. That's nice. No question about it there. It's unfortunate that the problem happened to the opponent because I'll tell you something. That blue machine right there was on a run on the back half of the track.
Here comes Mike Ward, your points leader, as we heard before, in the Rum Runner, and then the Plum Crazy with Adam Wright. We've yet to see a truck in the outside lane pick up a win.
Yeah, and it does look like it's not the better of the two, obviously. And look at Mike's machine just skim almost over the top of that water.
Well, you're absolutely right. He stayed on top of it way longer than anybody else, and a nice job of getting through this horseshoe. We've seen the other guys look a little tight, but man, he just slings it in there sprint car style.
Yeah, it's got the belly pan on the front there. And I'm not just so positive that wasn't one of the things that was advantageous. The other thing is having plenty of power, and you know Ward's got that. Look at that thing. Stays right on top of the water to right about there. He maintained it perfectly. Makes the turn, takes the win.
And CAREY Windham looks like he is a Jeff Gordon fan of the slow ride, and Ken Berry and the Undertaker. And let's talk about lane choice.
Hey, they just flip a card up in the air, man, and it tells you left lane or right, and obviously the inside or the left lane, from the driver's perspective, the better of the two.
When he slings it through here, standing on the throttle all the way through the horseshoe, yeah, baby, let it hang out. Use the guardrail if you need to.
That is a nice looking run for Ken Berry. And again, no shortage of power right there. And you can see it right at the hit. Skyjacker machine, you can just watch it from the start. And again, the bigger horsepower cars, and you noted it earlier, Ken, the way the camera was off on these things and the caster as well. But when it's under power, they go right back where they need to be. Great run there.
We've got more great On the Edge racing coming your way, so don't go anywhere.
This Lucas Oil On the Edge telecast is being brought to you by Lucas Oil, made in America, sold to the world. General Tire, anywhere is possible. Skyjacker Suspensions, the leader in leveling kits, sports lifts, and suspension kits.
In the world of motorsports, it seems like the testosterone is always flying. We get the added bonus with this event because we have mud flying at the same time. We're heading into round 2 with the modified class. But remember, it's double elimination, so one loss doesn't mean your day's over. Let's get right back to the action.
And that's what's cool about this style of race, the fact that you do have 2 looks at this track. Mike Ward, your points leader, on the inside. 2 times he's been on the inside.
And again, that's totally by luck of the draw, and it's definitely proven to be the place to be here in eliminations in round number 1 anyway.
And it looks like a little slower run for him here. The back half of this, he picks the pace back up. But definitely the first time out was his better of the 2.
No question, he was off just a little bit. And you can see that they try to take some power wars to these things in between rounds. Believe it or not, the mud cakes on there. It's a lot of weight, and weight means power. So you try to get them cleaned up, they get muddy right away though.
Doug Tarver and the Just Cuz, and Adam Wright, the Plum Crazy. Last time, Adam was on the outside. We'll see if he can make the inside work for him here. Side by side, they go through the hole.
Closest one we've had so far when we get to the puddle here. Oh, this is a good race.
Oh, yeah. Ford versus Chevrolet. The Chevy on the outside trying to make it happen. Here we go, man. This is what it's all about.
Woo-hoo. What a race.
Great stuff. Everybody on their feet watching this one as Adam Wright will sneak it across first.
And we watch it again, the Lucas Oil Products instant replay. The Chevrolet nearest to camera, making plenty of steam. And as you mentioned, the first time for the Ford to be on the inside lane again, which is obviously the better of the 2. But they come out of the water, the deep hole there of water, I should say, identical.
All right, Jamie Spillers and Ken Berry coming up. Berry and the Undertaker on the inside.
And the Mossy Oak Mudslinger with the horns on the road.
Yeah, he was lightning fast in round 1. We'll have to use the outside lane here.
Ooh.
It leans on him hard, but now he's eating a bunch of mud.
Oh, man, you don't want to do that.
Slides it right up against the cushion, stands on the throttle, and Berry puts on a show again.
I still contend that Berry's got the car, truck, I should say, with the most amount of horsepower. If you just listen to it, watch as they both come through what we'll call the Sippy hole. And they come out of this thing once again pretty close, but I think they rub each other right there, and that throws off the machine with the horns on top.
All right, the Hillbilly Deluxe with Ricky Smith and CAREY Wyndham in the slow ride.
Hillbilly Deluxe.
CAREY Wyndham taking a run at the inside lane. Gets over there where there's some grip right down on the inside, and it looks like it works his advantage. The hole wasn't quite as deep there on the inside.
One of the other things you got to think is what you mentioned. Oh!
Hang on to her, baby.
The Dodge not able to take advantage either of that. So Wyndham in the slow ride picks up a round win. Let's watch it again here in the instant replay from Lucas Oil Products. Dodge nearest the camera. And the Hillbilly Deluxe of Ricky Smith.
And look at him go way to the inside. You can see the hole wasn't quite as deep. Boy, when he came out of this thing, he stood on the throttle hard. A lot of fun to watch.
We love to hear from our fans. Go to Facebook.com and become a fan of Lucas Oil on the Edge. Then post your comments about this Lucas Oil on the Edge episode. Thanks for watching Lucas Oil on the Edge. We're headed into the semifinal round, and Mike Ward in the Rum Runner has been on top of his game all day long. He's yet to lose, and a win in this round will send him straight to the final. Will he go all the way? Let's see.
He's going to have some competition here today because there's some really fast trucks here, and Adam Wright is one of them.
Oh,
Adam Wright gets off to a late start.
He most certainly did. And the Mossy Oak team truck. Oh, it bogs just a little bit. You talked about it earlier, but it comes right back. Sometimes they get a little bit of moisture here and there. But there's nothing wrong with her now, baby.
So Jamie, who won the first round, lost his second round, but picks up a win here, will advance.
Once again, just to remind you, it's a double elimination tournament. And unlike drag racing, unless you buy back after round number 1 in an ET event, it is 2 down and 1 back in this situation once again. Double eliminations here.
Neither one of these guys has lost. Here comes Ken Berry, big steam in that one, and your points leader, Mike Ward, right beside him. This should be good. You can actually see the sprayer for Berry in the far lane. Oh, and Berry hits the throttle on time, and it looks like maybe he just lit the tires right up.
Yeah, some drivers use that transmission brake, and some drivers, I do believe, like the Rum Runner here, just dead throttle these things out of the gate.
And he is making it work here today as he takes out one of the fastest trucks here. Makes it look easy, actually.
They most certainly did, and we know the Chevrolet is no slouch. Oh, you can see it right there. You're exactly right. That thing just let the tires loose, as we would call smoke the tires in drag racing terms. But on the mud, I guess you could tell him cutting them free, as he went nowhere to hit.
All right, here's your 2 finalists. Jamie Spillers, you can see 5 wins, unfortunately 1 loss, but he makes it to the final against Mike Ward, who's yet to lose here today.
Yeah, 5-0 overall for the Rum Runner, baby.
So we'll throw it down one more time. Spillers, unfortunately, in that outside lane. We've yet to see a truck win from there. Oh, he gets a good start, huh? That's it. Lean on him, baby.
Oh, you know what he did? He went toward the center of the track, too. But man, oh man, when that truck in front of you throws so much mud and water at that thing, you just lose your momentum. This is Rum Runner all the way.
Yeah, Ward will win this one unless something breaks on the truck, but he can coast from here. So Mike Ward, undefeated here today through 6 rounds of competition.
6-0. As you can see, the crew member very happy at the far end. We'll watch it again here on instant replay. Now you notice that machine with the horns on it heads right towards the center. He's trying to find a spot, Ken, to get through that zippy hole. Actually hits a cone there.
Then he gets a big window full of mud.
Modified winner, Mike Ward, Rum Runner. Great run here. It's got to feel good to even add more championship points to your season.
Yeah, it's a fun run today. Everybody worked together real hard. We had a rain set in on us, changed the track up. We changed the setup, got out here, and the Bare Bones Racing crew did real good today.
Man, what a great topper to a season that's already been going great. Another one on the mantle. First place for none other than Mike Ward.
And here's your Skyjacker shock of the race. Another look at that final, and you can see Spillers just trying to hang on, but Ward takes it away.
Congratulations again to Mike Ward. He faced a tough competitor in Jamie Spillers. And if you're one of the OTE fans that can't get enough mud bogging, we have another class in store for you when we come back. We'll be hitting the horseshoe with the stock class, so don't go anywhere. You have to love an event where the drivers name their vehicles. You know a lot of thought went into each and every truck name. It's definitely evident in our stock semifinal round. Old Rod Knocker will face off against Split Decision. On the other side of the ladder, Food Stamp 2 will take on Sterling Silver, only on OTE.
Yeah, there is no shortage of creativity when it comes to the names of these trucks as we watch Brian Hill and Rodney Donaldson line up.
They're serious about it, but some of the names, man, will drive you nuts. It's way, way, way cool.
So as you can see here, a completely different class, not near as much horsepower. These guys really have to forge through this 4-foot deep hole.
And the old rod knocker's rods could be knocking after he makes his way through that whole cannon, as you mentioned. And by the way, it's pouring, just started pouring down rain about 20 minutes ago here.
And Rodney doing a solid job here as he slides it across. Unfortunately, not so fortunate for the competition. Go back in and take another look at it.
And there's a good opportunity. Look at the truck on the left and the toe in on the front end, which, by the way, is meant to be that way so as to force those tires through the water a little bit easier, almost like a wedge, so to speak. But at the same time, they're rotating, trying to move that truck through the water.
So Rodney picks up that first win. We'll go to Kevin Purvis and Jody Jester. Here next, the Food Stamp 2 and Sterling Silver.
Oh, Food Stamp 2 gets a pretty marginal jump off the starting line.
Side by side we go, door handle to door handle.
Literally.
Trying to see where they're going.
Wow, that is great racing.
And that's how you do it from the outside. You want to push him down to the bottom and pinch off that lane. And he's going to push to the outside. Now go underneath him. Here we go. We're racing now, baby.
We might see a win from the outside lane right here for the first time today. How about that?
Jody Jester doing it perfect. Leaned on him hard, started to lose it, checked up, let him go to the outside, and drives right back underneath him.
I hope these two guys are buddies over the pits, because if they say rubbing is racing, well, there was plenty of it to be had right there. Now watch right about now. They'll start getting close, and then they'll really get friendly right about here as they're halfway through the sippy hole. Wow.
Co-driver could have reached out and turned the key on turn the key off on that other one.
Oh,
but this
man.
is where he just gets aggressive. Instead of making the turn like he should have and hung on to the small lead, he wanted to teach him a lesson, and it cost him the race.
Absolutely. That was a pretty cool side-by-side run. Jester, Donaldson, the old rod knocker, and Food Stamp 2 here in the final.
And Jester in that outside lane again.
See if he can pull it off. He had a way of doing it earlier.
Here he comes.
The old rod knocker tried to give him just a little bit of a push there.
Tries the same move. We'll see if he can get back underneath him. Not going to happen this time.
The old rod knocker did everything he had to do right there, Donaldson. And he's got a lot of steam in that thing for a stock category machine. Rodney Donaldson picks up the win.
That old Chevy, you can see on the right side, it's been through a couple of battles.
You betcha. Once again in the replay, the Food Stamp machine, I gotta say, has played the game the best when you get in that not so favorable lane on the left side of the screen. He heads toward the opponent and almost, really at the end of the day, tries to use the opponent to his advantage coming out of the funnel.
Absolutely good call, but Rodney doing an awesome job as he hangs that left front up in the air.
Rodney Donaldson, the rod knocker, take it in stock class. Gotta tell me, did it come down to lane choice for you today?
Exactly. It came down to lane choice. The muddy track, the big block, long wheelbase had the advantage today. The heavier truck had the advantage. It wasn't a horsepower, it was a heavier truck. Just awesome day of racing. This is what we call mud racing. This is not dirt tracking, this is mud racing.
Don't go away when we come back. Finesse is key.
This Lucas Oil On the Edge telecast is being brought to you by Lucas Oil, made in America, sold to the world. General Tire, anywhere is possible. Skyjacker Suspensions, the leader in leveling kits, sports lifts, and suspension kits.
Welcome back to Lucas Oil On the Edge. We've cleaned off the cameras and taken them straight from Arkansas to Indianapolis for a Legends race. 25 laps for the final race, all coming at you from the historic Indianapolis Speedrome. Let's get right to it.
Welcome to the legendary Speedrome for the General Tire Legends race. These little vehicles are very tricky to race. Let me tell you right now, they're very talented individuals inside. They have 1200cc motorcycle engines in them. They have spools in the back. They are posies, which inherently create a tight race car or a push. so you have to really back these things in, but you have to be precise with it. You have to be very smooth, and these things are very fast.
And we are at the Speedrome, by the way, on the west side of Indianapolis. And I'm telling you, it is a packed house here. They love this type of racing here.
Something else you should know is these tires stick out of the fenders just a little bit, so they do go tire to tire, and it's not uncommon to see somebody flip here.
No, it's really not. And keep in mind, the bodies, for all intents and purposes, oh, again, right there's one there.
Absolutely. Tony Holden took over the lead. Marty Griffin, unfortunately, in the wrong place at the wrong time, as Chris Rhodes in the 57 and the 17 get together there. That is Joey Greeny.
I don't think anything was intentional there, but I will tell you it's very likely that Chris Rhodes in the 57 probably won't have the exact same feeling as what I do right about now.
Well, I will tell you here, you do not want to get in the outside lane. If you get in the outside lane, the train is coming by.
That's exactly right. So the 18 of Holden will lead them all as we go back to green here. Joey Greening runs second, and there's a lot of bumper tag going on from that point on.
Holden running a little different line. He is leaving the bottom open, but he's running a little wider arc to try and maintain momentum and speed. But I'll tell you, if he doesn't hit his mark down there at the bottom, the 17 will take it away. He got a good run off the turn right there.
Yeah, the 18, as we mentioned, was kind of running in the middle, doing a little bit of blocking, but he left the door open long enough for Greening to make it by, and a final lap this time by.
Now, I told you, if you get on the outside, you're going to go backwards fast, and that's exactly what's happened. Greening needs to protect the bottom here, or he'll lose the lead as well out of this final turn, and he holds Doug Grieg off. I'll tell you, this is great racing. They actually have what they call the Legends Million that happens down in Charlotte. A big money race where some 300 cars show up. It's awesome to see these people out here making it happen. There's a look at your General Tire final results.
And guys, climbing out of the 17G, Joey Greening, congratulations. I know it's your first win of the year. It's been a long time coming, but a great battle for the lead.
Thank you. It was a good race. It's actually my first one ever in a Legend, honestly, but this is my second year. We're doing good. I'd like to thank Toby Alfrey. He helped us a lot. New Carlisle Collision, they paint my car. It looks great this year. And hopefully we'll win our Fast Midwest Point Series.
Thanks for watching this episode of Lucas Oil on the Edge. For Ken Stout, Brian Olson, and Lurch, I'm Jamie Howe. We'll see you next time with more competitive adrenaline-fueled motorsports. But just remember, you're not living unless you're on the edge.